He's just a black man of the moment. The latest black victim du jour by law enforcement from around the country. But the good folks over at MSNBC, they do great work. Check them out. When they're not firing black women, they do great work because they want to talk about culturally relevant events like Beyonce and all of the political and social implications that may be surrounding it. A shout out to Melissa Harris Perry, by the way. She's got a couple new gigs. But the good folks over at MSNBC, and they caught up with the convenience store owner, okay? And this man took the second video. This video is sort of like behind the officer as it relates to Baton Rouge. This is very, very sad. I'm going to play this for you, okay?
Just in the last few minutes, a second video of the shooting has emerged, and it was shot by the owner of the store. I'm here with him right now. This is Abdullah Muflahi. And Abdullah, what can you tell me? What did you see?
Well, when the cops pulled up, I was walking around the counter. By the time I made it outside, they're already slamming him on top of a car. Backed off of him then and started tasing him. Another cop ran, tackled them onto another vehicle. From there, they went onto the ground. Both officers were on top of him. One was saying gun. The other guy, I don't know which one they shot, but they shot him 6 times.
And did Alton Sterling have a weapon with him?
I saw the weapon come out of his pocket when the cop went in there to take it out.
So you're telling me you didn't see a gun until after he was shot how many times?
6 times.
6 times. Yes. And where were you standing when you recorded this video?
I was standing by the store door, maybe 2 to 3 feet away from them. It was up close.
Now, you had surveillance video.
Yes.
Cameras that got this on camera, but
yes.
This is a different video that you shot, correct?
This is a different video. The surveillance cameras was, the police took it. They didn't let me back in the store after the shooting happened until they had came and took. They said they had a search warrant, but I was never presented with a search warrant. They took the cameras and never gave me the search warrant.
Did you see Alton Sterling resisting police?
He was confused. He didn't know what was going on. I think if they took the time to tell him what was happening, what was going on, I think it would have ended up differently. And
you've known Alton for a number of years, is that correct?
Yes.
And he comes out here all the time and sells his music?
He sells music out here. He doesn't have problems with anybody. He doesn't cause problems. He's always smiling. He's a nice guy.
Abdullah, the video that we saw that you shot on your cell phone, have you turned that over to police?
No. No. We'll be turning it over to FBI or anybody else other than that's going to be investigating other than the police.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Abdullah. And Thomas, as you heard.
There it is, Abdullah. He said that Alton was a good guy. He had permission, which means he probably had a deal going on with Abdullah. Maybe I kick you something every month or every week. And in return, basically, I got my own little store outside your store. It's all good. And it's just one more reason for people to come to this particular establishment because, you got a CD man over there. And think about that. He says that by the time he walked from behind the counter, they were already slamming him on top of stuff. Now, that's too damn fast. And see, that's the one thing that police in some cases don't seem to take into account. And that's why I would like to put police officers and let them walk a mile in the shoes of being a citizen who's been given a rough time by a police officer. And how would you react to it? Like he said, I think if they would have taken the time to explain to him, I think police officers have a responsibility given a situation to explain their actions. You're dealing with grown people, man. I don't care if you have a badge or not. I'm a grown man with responsibilities, a wife, kid in some cases. You can't talk to me any kind of way. Put my hands behind me. For what? Explain it. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I've seen in some of these videos is that when people stand up to certain officers, they catch an attitude about it. Oh, you going to get uppity with me? Oh, you going to stick your checks out? Oh, you want to talk? Okay. I've seen women who appear to just be talking to officers, saying some slick stuff, get slammed to the ground. Women. So clearly something is broken with the system. Clearly something is wrong. Or are these just the type of interactions that are going to happen? They've been happening. This is what happens when you have law enforcement. We're living in really, really, really dangerous times these days. Law enforcement is pulling people over. You don't know what they have in their cars. And so this is just an opportunity for us to get a little better, okay, to make the system work better. You tell me. Mike writes, some of these punk cops have no business near a gun. This is white supremacy. Kermir writes, the way I see it is to fight civil disobedience by the police by changing the laws or take it to the street with civil disobedience against the police. Tracy writes, this is way too much. Mr. Hollywood writes, shame. Keisha writes, completely heartbreaking. Completely heartbreaking. I mean, when does this end? Whose job is it to make this better? Crystal writes, I can't stop crying. This could be any of us at any time. I don't want my 15-year-old out of my sight. Unrealistic, I know. Absolutely. Because, you know, you got a teenager. They don't really know how to interact with people in this world. They might think they do, but they really don't. In many cases, they've never been in a desperate situation. They might do something and say something that makes the officer pull the trigger. It can happen. It does happen. It just happened. It just happened. And then for all the police excuse makers, sit your ass down, man. Go sit down. We don't want to hear that. No more excuses. We want results. We want solutions. Angela writes, these white juries allow it because they can identify with the fear factor. I agree with you. Crystal writes, yes, Angela, that's why the specificity is jury of peers. That's why they get off and we don't. James writes, he can't have a record if he was licensed CCW holder. Absolutely, James. Monique writes, I'm so mad 4 times, though. Mad is an understatement. Derek writes, I can't watch the video like that because I can't see a person get their life taken like that. If you fear people, you shouldn't be a public servant. I'll say it again. That's a great flow. If you fear the public, you can't really serve the public. Go sit down. Go get a job doing something that's less stressful. Go get a job or get a career doing something in which you're not in the line of fire. I understand it. I'm not going to hold that against you. I don't think less of you. But don't become a police officer and on the low have all these problems about black people or gays or Hispanics. What do you say, black people? You got all these stereotypes. You're afraid on the job. And then you go out here and you kill somebody's son. Speaking of son, did you see the video? You talk about emotional. I'm telling you, I was nearly moved to tears yesterday. This was a few hours after we ended our broadcast. And I saw the video of the wife of the man killed down in Baton Rouge. Okay. And you talk about tearing you up. And she's reading a prepared statement and, you know, she's going talking about Alton Sterling and their 15-year-old son, the son that she has with Alton Sterling, the son who is now fatherless. He's fatherless. His dad is gone. 15 in this crazy world. You know this world don't give a damn about you. You know that. You know you're damn good and very, very, listen, if you got a few friends, if you got one person who you can call a friend in this world, a real friend, damn it, you are on cloud 9. You're doing a lot better than a lot of folks out there. Because there's folks who got family who they don't really rely on or call a friend. I mean, to have somebody like that in your life is amazing. Could you imagine not having a father? He's been taken from you. And he was just inconsolable. The pain, I felt every bit of it. And he's like, I want my daddy. I want my daddy. Just inconsolable. Just had to turn away from the cameras. There were many men, perhaps family members, concerned members from the community, maybe even media representatives who were behind the mother as she was speaking in the microphone. And this boy is just beside himself. Beside himself. His dad is gone. And what if his dad was his best friend? What if his dad was the difference between, his maturation process, helping to develop him to be a man, as I'll do with my son one day. If you've got a son, you're doing it with your son right now. They need us. They need us. And now his father is gone. In an instant, taken away, most of it caught on video. I saw the second angle of the video that appeared that was taken by the convenience store owner, Mr. Abdullah. Hard to watch. Very hard. And you see this blood stain on his chest. You know the aftermath is that he lost his life. I don't know if this is something that is very normal, but at some point his arm starts moving around, his left arm. And I don't know if these are the last movements of Mr. Alton Sterling on this world. I mean, the last movements of his body. 37 years old. The last moments before his spirit, if you believe in that kind of thing, is transported to a different plane before his body dies. His body dies, man. He's dying. Help him. And the officer just kind of looks at him like, oh, snap. And he sort of gets up on one knee and then the video ends. Very sad. Very, very sad. And what will it take? It's not a coincidence that you have primarily white officers who are patrolling these black neighborhoods. Is that what the deal is? Kashana writes, I'm here crying at work. I refuse to watch the video. I wish we could rediscover the power that has led to all this fear. I agree with her. All this fear. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have every reason to be afraid, but I'm not afraid. I am more afraid, quite honestly. And there are drug deals that happen on my street, which means there's drug dealers that know about my street. I see heroin dealers all the time. I hear shots ring out sometime at night. It happens all, but I'm more nervous, should I say, about the interactions that can happen between me and a member of law enforcement than I am something that some folks call mistakenly black on black crime. Am I alone in this? My son is almost 2 years old. He's like 1.5 years old now. So 14 years from now when he's driving, 15 years from now when he is driving his car, am I going to be able to be comfortable at home? I mean, will it be a better day at that point? It's 15 years from now. Monique writes, okay, I did see, I read all of these. Jericho writes, I told him not to reach ... trying to justify his actions. Yes, you did. Derek writes, you can hear in his voice that he messed up. Derek writes that he effed up. Yes, you can. You can hear it in his voice that he made a mistake. You can hear it. When you make a mistake, listen, if you mistakenly kill a man and you're an officer, your time as an officer is over. That's it for you. That's it. I don't want you on the force no more. Okay? I can't trust your judgment, period. Okay, it's just like the NBA Finals. You had these basketball players that play 82 games, but it's not until you get to the moment that you actually see what people are made of. We know what this officer is made of, soft stuff. We know it. He ain't the right type. He's not made of the right stuff, period. It's over. Your law enforcement career is over. Deal with it. No pension, public scorn, maybe even jail time. It is what it is. It is what it is. Angela writes, even in this traumatic incident, they are showing her no sensitivity. Disgusting, right? Because they have to treat her as if she did something wrong. Kiki writes, I had to tune out. Saw this video and the other one. I'm overwhelmed emotionally, and I feel hurt at the same time. I'm with you. James writes, interested to see the mainstream media spin on this murder. A broken damn tail light? Have they declared war on black people? ? Kashana writes, they have no regard for that child in the back seat. Woody writes, good morning, Brother Nathan and the Chop Shop family. Good morning to you, Woody. Glad to have you, bro. Brian writes, a morning late start. Kashana writes, I'm referring to the fear that white men have of us. Yes, I understand. Kiki writes, I just wish some of the good police officers would tell on the ones who are bad officers. I'm with you on that one. Good morning, Casey. She writes, question of the day. What can black people do to not be killed by law enforcement? ? We can do everything right and still be killed for apparent no reason. Well, welcome to the new America.